They're fast, powerful, and loaded with tech, but even the hottest new motorcycles have their flaws. Consumer Reports reviewed hundreds, and these 20 bikes came closest to perfection. 20. Ducati Panagale V4S. Starting things off at number 20, meet Ducati's newest beast, the 2025 Panagale V4S. If motorcycles had superhero movies, this bike would be the star with its aggressive looks and a ridiculously powerful 1,103 cubic centimeter engine that cranks out 213 horsepower. Yep, 213 ponies packed into a machine weighing just 187 kilograms dry. Ducati gave this one a flexi frame and futuristic electronics that practically predict your next move. Linked brakes even drag the rear for you automatically, so corners feel like magic. But let's be honest here. This Italian rocket costs £29,995. That's about as affordable as a spaceship. Still, if money is no issue, this Ducati is basically the two-wheeled version of owning a Ferrari. 19. BMW S1000RR. BMW wasn't going to let Ducati have all the fun. Sliding into number 19 is the 2025 BMW S1000RR. You already know BMW for precision cars, right? Well, this bike is like their M-Series sedan, just with two wheels and fewer seats. The 999 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine kicks out a fierce 207 horsepower, ready to tear up roads or tracks whenever you twist that throttle. BMW went big on aerodynamics too, adding larger wings for serious downforce and clever brake cooling ducts. They even threw in shorter throttle action to keep your adrenaline permanently high. The RR weighs in at 198 kilograms wet and starts from 17,990 pounds, making it cheaper than the Ducati, but still pricey enough to make you think twice before lending it to your friend. 18th Aprilia RSV4. But hang on, Aprilia just entered the chat at number 18, boasting the most powerful production superbike engine ever made. We're talking 220 horsepower from a 1,099 cubic centimeter motor. That's more than enough to give Ducati and BMW sleepless nights. Aprilia stole tech directly from their MotoGP bike, slapping new bodywork, Brembo high-pure calipers, and a trick GPS suspension onto the RSV4 factory. So yeah, your suspension knows exactly where you are on track and adjusts itself automatically, because manually adjusting suspension is so last year. The RSV4 factory weighs 202 kilograms wet, and Aprilia's engineers have thrown everything they've got at this one. 17. Honda CBR 1000R Fireblade SP. Coming in hot at number 17 is Honda's legendary Fireblade SP. Honda didn't officially update it for 2025, but honestly, this 2024 model is already pushing boundaries. Powered by a screaming 1,000cc inline-4 delivering 215 horsepower, the Fireblade sounds angrier than your mom after you tracked mud into the house. It's dripping with track-ready tech like Öhlins semi-active suspension, Brembo brakes, and HRC-developed aerodynamics. The Fireblade weighs 201 kilograms wet and sets you back 23,499 pounds. Sure, it's expensive, but it's Honda, so it'll probably outlast you and your future grandkids. 16. Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R. Sliding a bit down our list at number 16 is the Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R. Once a feared rival on racetracks, Kawasaki's iconic Ninja feels a bit like yesterday's champion in 2025. It still punches out 200 horsepower from its 998 cubic centimeter inline-4, but riding this one around town is like bringing a bazooka to a water balloon fight. All the power lives up top, so cruising around traffic makes it grumpier than an old man at a loud concert. At 207 kilograms wet, the Ninja isn't exactly light either. But hey, Kawasaki gave it aero winglets and cruise control because who doesn't want to cruise casually at 200 horsepower? All jokes aside, at 17,499 pounds, it's still a serious bike, but maybe best kept on track days rather than city streets. 15. Triumph Speed 400 and Scrambler 400X. Rolling in at number 15 are two bikes from Triumph that make you wonder. Did someone accidentally put too low a price on these things? Triumph's new Speed 400 and Scrambler 400X both come in around $5,000, but feel way pricier once you hop on. Let's start with the Speed 400. It rocks a peppy single-cylinder engine cranking out smooth torque that's ready to rumble even if you've never twisted a throttle before. The handling is sharp enough to make beginners feel like MotoGP heroes while still giving seasoned riders a thrill through tight corners. But hold on. If pavement feels a little too mainstream for you, the Scrambler 400X is ready to get dusty. It shares all the good stuff with the Speed, but adds some off-road magic to keep you grinning even when you hit the dirt trails. The bars are wider, the seating more open, so taller riders don't feel squeezed like a grown-up trying to ride a kid's bicycle. Triumph has truly packed a premium punch without emptying your wallet. 14. BMW G310R. Speaking of affordable rides from brands usually priced like fancy watches, BMW swings into the list at number 14 with the G310R. This isn't your dad's bulky BMW touring rig. This is the lean, compact city bike you didn't realize BMW could build. Starting around the $5,000 mark, the G310R nails the sweet spot for new riders with its comfy 30.9-inch seat height and a featherweight curb weight of just 362 pounds fully fueled. BMW knew beginners fear stalling like kids fear broccoli. So they put in a slip-assist clutch and an idle speed boost that helps the bike roll smoothly off the line without embarrassing stops. So now, even if you're new, you can pull away from red lights feeling confident instead of praying. Your bike won't make you look like you skipped riding school. It's BMW luxury meets everyday friendliness, and at a price that means you can afford lunch after buying it. Crazy, right? 13. Norton V4SV, 2025. At number 13, meet the Norton V4SV. Ever heard of Norton? Probably not lately, and that's okay, because Norton is the motorcycle equivalent of that fancy designer brand no one really wears. This 1,200cc V4 is special, but mostly as art. With just 185 horsepower, it lags behind its rivals in raw speed. But what it lacks in power, it makes up for in exclusivity, costing a staggering 44,000 pounds. That's right. This bike costs about as much as your first house deposit. It's only street legal in the UK, making it about as accessible as a secret club. Sure, it's got fancy Öhlins suspension and Brembo brakes, but so does nearly every other bike on this list. Norton's comeback bike might look amazing, but riding it hard on track? Not quite its strong suit. 12th. Honda XR150L. At number 12. Honda's XR150L might just be the friendliest bike ever built for beginners. Honda essentially looked at every fear a new rider has and said, hey, let's fix that. The XR150L weighs next to nothing, feels lighter than grandma's old bicycle, and comes with a seat height so low you practically touch the ground just thinking about it. And then there's that clutch, lighter than flipping pages in a magazine, making stop-and-go traffic almost enjoyable. It's powered by an engine so forgiving you'd have to actively try to stall it. Even if you do manage to stall it, Honda's made it so easy you can restart and pretend nothing happened. Here's the kicker. It costs only $3,099 brand new. That's cheaper than some bicycles, folks. It's like Honda is daring you not to buy this bike. Honestly, if this bike got any friendlier, you'd think it wanted to hug you. 11. Yamaha YZFR1. And coming in at number 11, we have the Yamaha YZFR1. Yamaha's legendary R1 has always had a loyal fan base, but recent years saw it slip behind European competitors. Now, finally in 2025, Yamaha fought back by giving the R1 the Brembo brakes it desperately needed. Its 998 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine dishes out 197 horsepower, making this bike seriously quick. Plus, Yamaha added sleek carbon fiber wings that scream fast, even while parked. At 203 kilograms wet, it's not the lightest, but it still dances around corners beautifully. The bad news? Tightening emissions regulations mean you can't buy one in the UK anymore, though it's still available elsewhere. Yamaha might be waving goodbye to Europe, but this revamped R1 is proof they're not ready to quit just yet. 10. Aprilia RS457. Okay, let's crank up the drama as we land at number 10. Meet Aprilia's RS457. Sport bikes for beginners are tricky business. Some companies soften their starter bikes until they feel like scooters wearing fancy clothes. Not Aprilia. They built a legit baby superbike that's beginner-friendly without losing its teeth. The RS457 hits hard with the best power-to-weight ratio in its class, an aluminum frame that dances through corners, and suspension good enough to impress at track days. Dual hydraulic disc brakes? Check. Traction control and adjustable engine modes? Yep, all standard. This bike isn't playing dress-up. It's a mini superbike that beginners won't outgrow after a month. Aprilia's given rookies a bike that's thrilling yet manageable. Your first ride on the RS457 might make you question why anyone would buy a bigger, more expensive bike. Spoiler, they probably shouldn't. 9. Kawasaki Ninja 500. Right ahead at number 9, the Kawasaki Ninja 500 sneaks onto our list because nobody does entry-level sport bikes quite like Kawasaki. Ninja 500 may sound intense, but trust me, it's friendlier than your favorite cartoon character. It has all the flashy looks of a racetrack machine, but when you ride it around town, you won't feel like it's secretly plotting to throw you off. The 500's parallel twin engine offers power that's smooth, playful, but never scary. Kawasaki set the seat nice and low at 30.9 inches, added relaxed ergonomics that don't crush your wrists, and kept weight at a friendly 375 pounds wet. It's fast enough to make your friends jealous, yet mild enough that your parents might even approve. At just $5,300 brand new, it's probably the most fun you can legally have for the price. Ninja status unlocked. 8. Yamaha MT03. Number 8 on our list is the Yamaha MT03, a beginner bike that Yamaha has been perfecting for nearly 2 decades. The MT03 nails every detail. Compact frame, quick steering, and engine that revs smoothly without shaking your fillings loose. Yamaha gave it a slip-assist clutch this year to make gear shifts smoother than a perfectly blended smoothie. They narrowed the seat and side panels too, so even shorter riders can comfortably reach the ground at stops. And the best part? It still costs under $5,000. Yamaha's basically handing you a wallet-friendly bike with Street Fighter looks that won't scare off beginners. Ride it in the city, ride it on twisty roads. It doesn't care, it just delivers smiles like an Amazon package on your doorstep. 7. Kawasaki KLX 300 and 300 SM, and landing dramatically at number 7. Kawasaki's KLX 300 and its hooligan twin, the KLX 300 SM. Dual sport bikes usually get overlooked by beginners. But Kawasaki's KLX 300 is here to change minds. It's tall, sure, with a seat height of 35.3 inches, but Kawasaki kept it impressively lightweight at only 302 pounds. Its forgiving power and adjustable suspension are perfect if you're new but serious about going off-road. If the seat height has you worried, there's always the KLX 300 SM, a supermoto version with 17-inch wheels and a lower 33.9-inch seat height. Either way, Kawasaki has your back. And let's be real, learning to ride a small bike fast can be way more fun than scaring yourself silly on a monster machine. With 18.1 pound-feet of torque, it's punchy enough to excite you but forgiving enough not to punish mistakes. Beginner bike dual sport fun supermoto attitude. Kawasaki says, why not have it all? 6. 2025 Suzuki GSXS 1000 GT Plus. Coming in hot at number 6 is Suzuki's GSXS 1000 GT Plus. And it's one of those bikes that screams value louder than your dad screams at the TV during playoffs. Because for just $14,299, Suzuki serves up a proven package built around the legendary GSXR 1000-based K5 engine, but tuned way smoother for touring because no one wants to accidentally wheelie when reaching for their coffee. And yes, it might miss some flashy features like fancy radar or an IMU system, But Suzuki keeps it real simple and effective by giving you 135 horsepower at 10,360 RPM and 73.15 pound-feet of torque at 9,190 revolutions per minute from its 999 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine wrapped in a nimble frame weighing under 500 pounds, fully loaded, which makes it handle easier than trying to sneak snacks past cinema staff. And speaking of loaded, the GSXS 1000 GT Plus even throws in standard hard side cases holding 25.7 liters each, which means you can pack enough gear to flee your boring weekday reality without worrying about space. Plus, Suzuki tosses in cruise control, adjustable inverted forks, 3 riding modes, traction control, ABS, and a sharp-looking 6.5-inch TFT screen that hooks up to your phone's music maps and contacts, because who wants to be bored even while blasting down highways on your affordable but impressively fast sport tourer, right? 5. 2025 Indian Roadmaster Power Plus Limited. Cracking our top 5. The 2025 Indian Roadmaster Power Plus Limited proves bigger really is better, at least when it comes to touring motorcycles. Because Indian stuffed a beastly new 112 cubic inch 1,834 cubic centimeter Power Plus engine into their premium touring rig, giving you a whopping 126 horsepower and 133 pound-feet of torque at just 3,600 RPM. Which feels less like an engine and more like the hand of God, gently shoving you down the highway at speeds you shouldn't mention to your insurance agent. And sure, it tips the scales at 937 pounds, but with electronically linked Brembo brakes, hill hold control, and lean-sensitive ABS from a high-tech IMU, you'll barely notice the weight, unless of course you're trying to move it around your garage, in which case, good luck, friend. And don't forget, this beast is about luxury too, with electronically adjustable windscreens, independent heated seats, heated grips, and more luggage capacity than your average car, offering 36 gallons of remote locking storage space, plus radar tech warns you about blind spots, tailgaters, and even triggers flashing lights if a car behind you isn't paying attention. Basically, the Roadmaster Power Plus Limited is the motorcycle version of a 5-star hotel suite on wheels, only faster, louder, and way cooler. 4th 2025 Yamaha Tracer 9 inches. At number 4, Yamaha's 2025. Tracer 9 steps up to deliver one of the best balanced bikes around. But this year, it ditches some tech wizardry to drop nearly $4,000 from the sticker, now priced at just $12,599. Yet keeping that sweet 890 cubic centimeter CP3 inline-3 engine pumping out smooth, predictable torque in a chassis. Updated with a new aluminum Delta box frame and manually adjustable KYB suspension. Because sometimes old-school simplicity just works better. Like choosing a paperback over an e-reader on vacation. And Yamaha swapped radar-guided cruise for regular cruise control, tossed out the semi-active suspension quickshifter and heated grips, but gave you a new, bigger manually adjustable windshield. A comfy seat, revised handlebars, and rider triangle, all built for eating miles, without feeling like you spent all day on a bucking Bronco. Plus, there's a cool 7-inch TFT display and Yamaha's clever variable speed limiter, which is basically Yamaha politely reminding you not to break speed limits unintentionally. Though you probably still will, and with its stripped back yet solid package, the Tracer 9 proves less, really can be more, especially for your wallet. 3.2025 Indian Roadmaster Power Plus Limited hold up. Didn't we just cover this Indian Roadmaster? Yep, but it's so nice it landed twice seriously at number 3. Indian's Roadmaster Power Plus Limited returns for an encore, and that's because few bikes blend muscle, luxury, and tech quite this perfectly. That powerful 1834cc Power Plus engine pumps out its 126 horsepower and 133 pound-feet of torque, smoother than silk pajamas sliding across satin sheets. Meanwhile, the lean-sensitive IMU radar-enabled blind spot alerts, tailgate warnings, and flashing rear lights might as well give you psychic powers on the road, making every ride feel like a futuristic mission where you predict traffic moves before they happen. Plus, it comes standard with electronic windshield adjustment, heated seats and grips, and enough storage to hide from reality for weeks. This is the kind of bike you choose when roughing it means room service didn't deliver breakfast exactly on time. 2. 2025 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Ultra. Sliding into second place is the 2025 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Ultra, a machine so American it practically bleeds apple pie and baseball because Harley packed their mighty Milwaukee 8117 engine into this touring icon, delivering 90.35 horsepower at 4,530 RPM and an asphalt-ripping 116.58 pound-feet of torque at just 2,840 RPM. Which means power comes on quicker than your friend's excuses when you ask to borrow tools again at 877 pounds. It's lighter than Indian's Roadmaster, but still substantial enough that potholes apologize when you ride over them. And Harley's engineers dialed in suspension with adjustable Showa shocks and a plush 49mm fork. So your ride stays comfortable even when roads look like they've hosted monster truck rallies. Plus, Harley upped the luxury game with a 4-inch taller windshield that cuts helmet buffeting by 60%. Heated seats, a massive King Tour Pack storage box, and saddlebags holding nearly 5 cubic feet of gear. Inside Harley's massive 12.3-inch touchscreen is Skyline OS, giving you navigation, music calls, and comms at your fingertips, because riding shouldn't mean giving up Netflix-level convenience. 1. 2025 Honda Goldwing Tour DCT 50th Anniversary. And now, at number 1, ladies and gentlemen, Honda's legendary Goldwing Tour DCT 50th Anniversary, a bike celebrating half a century of redefining luxury touring. And it does so with a silky smooth 1833 cubic centimeter flat-six engine, making a buttery 90 horsepower that delivers torque so smoothly, you'll wonder if the wheels even touch pavement, paired with Honda's game-changing dual-clutch transmission. DCT. You never shift gears manually again. Just sit back and let the wing handle the work this year. Honda added wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to its 7-inch TFT display, so your phone connects without hassle, plus standard cruise control electric windshield reverse gear, and even airbag options elevate this bike beyond competition. There's LED lighting, keyless lockable luggage, and a ride so stable it feels like cruising on clouds. Basically, this Goldwing is what happens when engineers decide motorcycles deserve first-class airline treatment without turbulence. There you have it, the 20 most incredible recent bikes according to Consumer Reports, each one proving perfection is closer than you think.